Cold Talks. Tune in. We're chatting about family and friends. Relationship goes together to the end. This is Cold Talks. Tune in.
What's going on, everybody? This is Cold Talks. I'm D.
And I'm Jaleesa.
And listen, man, this show about to be crazy. But listen. I'm gonna support my men, my black men especially, um, men in general, cause y'all got us messed up.
So that's what happened, man. We was on Facebook and we seen this post. Can you pull the post up?
Yes, I
On Facebook, man, y'all.
can. All right. It's my wife. There she go.
So this the post. If the mother and father of a little boy aren't together at some point in that boy's life, he needs to go live with his father solely. That's the post. That's the post. And the original post got a lot of feedback. I reshared it with just the eyes. And so far only one person commented, but the comment section was getting a little heated. Not heated, but a little lengthy. And Bay said he wanted to post. He was about to comment on post, but we're just like, you know what? Let's just do an episode about it. Let's put it out there.
Cause I didn't want my words to get misconstrued, cause I'm very passionate about men, and men having a voice, because I feel like men in general have became voiceless, you know, um, and I feel like, because I was raised by a single mother, I get it, but at the end of the day, I feel like I don't know. I mean, how you want to start this thing?
What you think? You think that at some point that biological father need to get his son?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
well,
I mean, because at the end of the day, there has to be something, a person in that child's life that teaches him how to be a man.
So okay, so does it have to be the biological father?
I think in order for that child, that little boy, to know who he is, um, underneath all the surface, his biological father do need to have a sit down with him and help him understand. He need to understand his father in order for him to know how to become a certain type of man. I do, because there's certain things I dealt with as a young man. I had some great leaders in my life that I had got close to, and I mimic a lot of things that they do in life, and it helped me become a great man. Some of the things, some of the people that contributed me to be the man that I am was not my dad. So, and there probably was no kin to me. Some of them wasn't. But at the end of the day, it wasn't until I had to sit down with my dad and I asked him who he was. I didn't, I wasn't at first. I blamed him for a lot. I used to, say, catch on to the whole wave of, my daddy ain't nothing. He wasn't there for me. My mama did great. But who is the man? Because at the end of the day, my mom is a woman and my dad is a man. So there are pettiness that goes on that men and women deal with in relationships. There's a lot of things that go in terms of relationships that I didn't know about. I thought my daddy was this abuser. I thought that he was this terrible person. And reality was, I personally felt like he just was a jealous hearted person. Um when we sat down and I really got to know the man, me and his relationship is great. It don't erase what happened in the past, but I do understand who he is, and I'm able to write things down and say, okay, I can't do this. I'm prone to that. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch, and I do that when it comes to you. That's why I became so patient, because you remind me a lot of my mother, in terms of, like, you're a strong woman, you're opinionated, You're not one of those women like, hey, shut up and go sit down. That's not who my mom is. That's not who you is. And it takes a certain type of man to deal with things like that. So at the end of the day, I feel like in order for him to become a certain type of man who know himself, wholeheartedly, I do feel like he should at least have a talking relationship with his father to, cut off the rough edges.
So, okay. So what if that kid has a stepdad that step up and that kid believe that that's his biological father? He grew up believing that. And the stepdad has been teaching him, molding him, doing all these things and developing him. Do you still think that kid one day need to know who his biological father is and go live with him and be raised by him?
No, well, that's a lot to unpack
Okay.
because at the end of the day, just because a woman gets in a relationship, she cannot erase where that child came from. So at the end of the day, now unless this man says out of his mouth, "Hey, bro, I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm done," and a man step up, don't go chasing him, because as men, hey, sometimes men have to bring up the rear, so to speak, in terms of raising the child into a man or raising the child, period, because the father was absent. So yeah, the whole general thing is a man need to help a man grow into what he need to be. I'm not talking about brothers. I'm not talking about granddad. I'm talking about a man that's with this child, this boy, 24/7, because it's a journey stepping into a man.
Okay. So if daddy is requesting, readily able, wants to be there, then yeah, let him raise that boy. But if daddy chucked the deuces and was like, I don't want nothing to do with that. Dang, hey, whatever you and your new dude got going on, that's y'all thing. Whatever, and he move on, he doing his own thing. That dude, you should chase that dude and be like, hey, come raise this baby. This your son, this your blood. You let that dude be. But if you have the stepfather right in the house or that biological father right there in baby mama face saying, hey, give me my baby. I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to do this. That's my blood. I could teach him things that you don't got no clue what's going on. That's my baby. Then you saying, yeah, that dad needs to raise that baby.
Yeah.
You saying that mama need to go ahead and let him be a free bird and go solely live with that and have full custody.
Right. I just don't like the idea that there's requirements it take for a man to raise a child on his own.
I don't think it's that though. I think it's more so that's what we see. That's what we see.
Okay.
Your mama raised you.
Okay.
My mama raised me. And she struggled. But guess what? Our daddies allowed that to happen because they knew if them babies with their mama, they straight. We heard them say that out their own mouth.
I understand that. But I think just like y'all believe a man can take a child and say, here, or it doesn't even happen like that. What happens is a relationship goes south and there's steps that happens right after that. Hate, child support, time, how you gonna watch the kids, who gonna watch the kids, when you gonna, it's all controlled by the woman, as if the man's so dumb and stupid, he couldn't say, hey, listen, you gotta eat breakfast in the morning, you need lunch, just how you do that. That's unfair. Like, you knew the man who you had when you laid down with him.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you made a sound investment inside of that man, and you say, if I choose to have a baby with this guy, this is the type of father he has to be.
But what if it was an accident, baby?
Well, that's why you got car insurance. Yeah. That's why you got life insurance. Just in case an accident happen, you covered.
You got an accident, baby, and Buddy showed you time and time again that he ain't capable of raising that baby without you being there. It be happening. You roll your eyes like it
But
don't
listen,
happen.
I understand. I continue to go back because I
But
don't.
man, women mature faster than men, man.
It doesn't matter.
It
And you
do.
see women struggle every single day raising kids by themselves.
Yeah, you do. That's true. They
So-
be struggling, but hey, I mean, that's what we're used to.
So what?
We're used to
Break
that.
those generational curses.
I agree. Listen, as for me in my house, if we ever get a divorce, them kids going with him. And I could say that because I know that you're a good father, you're a great provider. You're gonna do what you gotta do for them boys, because you in the house, you put their needs above your own. So I know if we was to get a divorce and they go be with you, you're gonna do the same thing.
And
I don't have no words when it comes to that.
And when that happens, if that happens, I don't need you to give me a checklist of things to do. Marlon, make sure Marlon eat breakfast. He don't like nothing but chicken nugget, French fry.
I don't do that now.
No. That's my point. It seems like women feel like they have to have a checklist of what it takes to raise a child. When they drop the boy off or drop the girl off or to go live with dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got it. Trust and believe that. It's the same scenario. It's a human being raising another human being. Some people are incapable. Some people are. Now, just because he lived with the mother and she's stable and she's raising him to be a man, that doesn't mean that this guy is going to lack things as a man. It's certain things women just cannot teach a young man. I don't care what you say. It's just certain things you just cannot teach a young man. Yes, you can have, you say, oh, well, he got his football coach. His football coach is great in his life. What about when that football coach is unavailable?
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, my brother, you know, okay, what if that brother has his own child and he becomes unavailable? It needs to be, and he has a father. Get that father in his life. Get men in their lives. Men in their life that can help them develop and come to a man.
Okay, so with that being said, you said get men in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So if she raising her son by herself without because the whole thing is dad needs sole custody.
At some point in life, yes.
At some point in life, he needs sole custody. Mm-hmm. What if she keeps sole custody and she got men around? You just said that. You said have men around.
But I just don't think it's fair that it's like that. It's like what so you're gonna replace the dad? I
ain't saying replace the dad. I'm all for the son. I'm for the post. I believe that the son needs to go stay with his dad at some point if the parents split. I agree with that. But I'm speaking for those women who don't agree. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying replace the dad. I'm saying he don't have to live with dad. That's the argument. They feel like he don't have to live with dad. He don't have to have sole custody of the kid just because it's a boy. And he have all these mentors and all these people and uncles and all these people around him that could teach him things that she may miss. Mm-hmm. And he could get that from dad as well without him living there full time. Like, dad could still be a full-time dad and not have the baby in the house with him.
Why is it like it's a Ken doll? A Ken, like... This is a child. The child is going to be a young man that's going to grow up into a man. It's like a Barbie doll. It's like we're talking about a Barbie doll and accessories. Because
people do be accessorizing their kids' child.
Like, just, hey, listen, your ultimate goal, because I think single mothers, please, hear me out.
Don't cut his head off, y'all.
Y'all are not going to get any type of award at 18. You got to expect the child to hate you. You got to expect that child to say you didn't give him things that he or she didn't have. You got to expect that child to ultimately start telling the truth. You got to expect that child to turn some type of way that you just did not expect. Your ultimate goal is to raise that child to 18 years old, so that child can sustain at the very least in life. What's going to eventually happen is you take him to that father. If that's the case, this is a little boy now in particular situation. You take this to that father, and that father nurture that child. Now you have to understand there's thing called genetic, where I hope you believe that child do have things that you possess, and that child has things that his father possess. That father is to help nurture those manly things. Now, when he look at that child, it's like a mirror of the past. He gonna start seeing things that child, that young man is doing. That he like, hold on, I can't let you do that because I can remember what I had the same situation. I I had to turn it. That's why me and Jeremiah have so many duels with each other because I can see it. He's popular. He's nice looking. I didn't have all those attributes, but popular, likable, smart. Everybody want a piece of you. Some people want you to get in trouble. You got to know how to navigate that thing. But the biggest thing I always tell him is to think. His mama could tell him that. But what usually happens is, I personally believe, I get up under the bullshit. I don't take tears. I don't care about tears. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah come on and say, Mom, this girl said so to me. Mom, this like, she about to stop playing my baby. Like, don't play. That's my baby. Me, I'm like, man, it's a girl. She probably like you. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that we're both together and it happens like that in the same household is perfect. But then in all, that little boy, what if he act off emotion and his dad is prone to beating women? Now he don't punch the little girl in the face because he's like, shoot, she was talking junk about me. I can hit anybody. If I feel upset, if I get sad, if I whatever, I can hit anybody. And that's not the case. Because that's what I told him the other day. You better be careful because you sitting up thinking you're a victim. When it comes to these women, you're going to get in trouble for it. You can't do that. Yeah. What you need to do is control your emotions. Mm-hmm. You can't be so emotional. A little girl can do that when it comes to a little girl. They two women, let them do it out. Even when it comes to dealing with another man, you can't deal with another man based on emotion because you don't know how that man gonna react. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of in and out I give him when it comes to a father to my son. Now, a lot of women might say, well, I can do that.
I was about to say, why you don't think a woman could teach a son that?
No, because think about the whole logic. The whole logic is she's protecting him from his own father. So, of course, she's going to emotionally protect him from the world as well. He has to be willing to get punched in the mouth. And she has to allow him to let it happen and he'll learn from it. She can't protect him from everything. As growing up with a single mother, I see my mama work 3 jobs. In the middle of going to the 3rd job, it was a huge fight in Hollywood. My mama was knocked out asleep on the couch. She ran her 5'4" behind out there to break up a fight between a bunch of men. I literally saw the police grab a baton, and my mama went to grab the police because she had my brother. She went to grab the police, and the police turned around with the baton, was about to hit my mom. He was like, man, you about to back up. You can't help them. And she was hurt. Oh, man. She was just hurt because here's her babies, grown men who's having a brawl in apartment complex. She can't save them. Yeah. Either one or two things would have happened with me. I would either sat there and watched the fight, or I would have jumped in. But it's nothing she could have done. But if you go way deep into the fight, emotional shit. You got to know how to deal with your shit as a man because you got to be present. You got to be present. You know what I'm saying? Because when you sad, emotional, and down, and all this other good stuff, I got to be strong for you. I got to help you. I got to be that backbone. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you find a woman, she got to understand that when you've been taking them blows for her and for the household, she got to understand that, hey, listen, let me, rub that mane down. It's like a lion. I always say, lions are, if you they're so big and scary, king of the jungle and all this other good stuff, it's very rare that you get close to a lion and be able to, rub his mane. He got to trust you. Yeah. That big, scary animal got to trust the person to rub that mane. And that's what it comes down to a man. But yeah, now
It's a lot to unpack here.
It's a lot to unpack, but I just feel like
talk your stuff.
When it comes to raising a man,
Mm-hmm.
you have to allow that at some point in life, that child, that little boy, to go to his father. Now, if it's a little girl, I don't know. It's because it depends on
and you're a father of all boys. Like, you're a boy dad, so
you know what I'm saying. And I don't even think I can produce females, but when it comes down to raising a little girl, I do feel like it depends on the logic. How do you want that? How do you believe a little girl should be? You know, you have the feminist movement. You got a lot of things. You got women that raise women to be wives and mothers.
And then you got them that raise them to be strong, independent. Yeah.
Now, in our particular situation, your mother raised you to be strong and independent.
Right.
And it was hard because I saw my mama be strong, independent. And this is beautiful. I saw my mom be strong and independent, right? And I always wanted the opposite because I don't want my wife to work as hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I married opposite of my mother. But what I realized in that same sense was I can't do it alone. I need a helpmate. You know, I need a real helpmate. So Jaleesa was perfect, but I had to break the strong independentness up a little bit and say, let me help, or you can trust me.
Yeah, you had to show me that it was okay to be softer, because I was just this strong, independent brick wall, and you had to chisel at a little bit, hit a little bit, and then finally knock it down in order for me to feel comfortable,
secure,
and secure, and trust you to be able to lead this family. Because I always was just like, I got it, it's good, I got it. I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that. When it comes to them babies, I got it. I know if we would have divorced then, we would have definitely been going through like a custody battle, and I would have been like the other women saying, heck nah, my baby's coming with me, I don't know what you talking about, because I was just that strong, independent woman who just felt like I had to protect my babies and just be over them and just be like, these my babies. Even though you helped make them and stuff, these my babies. And I would have took that approach with you. But now, me seeing you in their lives, us being together, and you taking care of me, my soul, my heart, and everything else, and securing me, if something was to happen, I would be comfortable enough to allow them to go with you. But everybody don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the controversy on the post, because a lot of women don't have that. They're raised to be strong, independent women. So if something happened, a lot of them haven't been married. They just smashed Buddy and had a baby, or they was in a relationship with Buddy and they had a baby. And now they have this baby, these kids, these teenagers, whatever, that they are taken care of and that they taken care of their entire lives. And now dad's saying, hey, these my sons, I need sole custody of them in order to develop them into young men. Right. Now she's supposed to just trust this guy to just take the babies. So I understand where they coming from, because they didn't have this.
Well, what if yesterday we said that when you get a divorce or break up with somebody, one person hates somebody because it was somebody's fault.
Yep, one person hate or both of them hate. Yep.
For 1 second, just like I say, we're talking about little churn that's going to grow into little adults, into adults. Mm-hmm. Take ourselves out of the situation and for a second.
Do what's best for the child.
Do what's best for the child.
Okay.
Now, if it's probably, I know some solid guys. I mean, some men. And some men probably fed up like, man, I'm not going to her to talk about nothing. She ain't doing it but argue me down, whatever. And he don't even want to deal with it. Mm-hmm. I know guys that's totally just walked out of the child life because of the mother. Mm-hmm. Now, at the end of the day, that woman has a responsibility to take care of herself out of the situation as well and say, this is what's best for my child. It even comes when it comes to raising young ladies, children, period. Because I do believe in the daddy issue thing. I do believe in that. But back to this real quick. The father, if there's a real sincere conversation that happens, say, listen, you are a terrible spouse. You are a piss poor boyfriend. You're terrible in bed. But we have this child, a little boy.
Yeah.
I need him to learn the ins and outs of being the man. Do I find that on the street or do I find it within you? I don't believe there's a man that would say, I don't care what his living situation is, what it will say, yeah, I'm going to let somebody else do that. I don't believe men will do that. Now, I have learned along the way.
Hold on. You said you don't believe it's men out there that are just pat their bags and be like,
no, not pat them. He's already gone.
He gone and you don't believe that it's men out there that will just say fuck that kid.
Voluntarily without no, okay, no. But listen, I have learned along the way, like I was gonna say, there are men that are different, that has the capability to just have a lot of kids, mess around, mess up different household. It's terrible, guy. Every guy ain't perfect.
Okay, because you said you don't believe it's a soul out there.
No. What I'm saying is that
motherfuckers do be doing.
Yeah, of course. The average man, though.
But men be thinking okay, I get you. You saying the average man won't do that.
Won't do it
in today's society, in today's world.
I think men, period. The average man, period.
The average man. Cause you ain't talking about the onesies and twosies that will. You talking about the average man. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying the average man. Because, I mean, it's some people that, they're different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I even look at it like, what's that?
If you know, you know.
But my thing is like this. My thing is, as kids, it's like the Tupac song. I always say this. When you say mama's just a little girl, so is dad. He's still that little boy. My dad, when I had a conversation with my dad, he was an absent father. He just sent money. It wasn't a lot of money, but he sent money. Now, when I had the conversation with him, he looked up to his daddy. His daddy only sent money, and he loved him. So that's what he believed fathering was. On weekends, he'll get us, parade us around Merrill Avenue, get the girl's hair done, get our haircut, send us back home on Sunday. All right, that was great. Bye. That was enough for him because he felt like he was fulfilling that role. Mm-hmm. But it was wrong.
Yeah.
So that's why you had that conversation. You saw it. I don't play with my daddy.
No, you don't.
But we have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
And people always wonder why. Do I blame him for this? No. I don't know what happened between him and my mama. I don't know if my mama used to beat on him. I don't know if mama called him stupid. I don't know if they argue about football game. I don't know what they was arguing about. It was for us. But what I do know is my mama always say whatever happened between us, between him and her. Mm-hmm. She never told us to hate him.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you raise kids, and eventually they just start hating them. They start hating the father because he's not there. Mm-hmm. So it's just like what I say, the daddy issue thing with little girls. They have an ideal growing up what a man would be. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for me to be a father because I just replaced what I didn't have. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to that little girl, I don't know. I'll let you see that. Like when it comes to a little girl, do you say, I want a man that's a hero, a man that's totally opposite of my mother? Like, do you believe in that issue and how that whole thing transpires? Like, what do you think?
I do believe in daddy issues. I always said that I wanted a man that was nothing like my father. Because my daddy, we have a better relationship now as adults because him over here, he was like, hey, babe, I feel like you need to develop a relationship with your dad. And I was like, for what? Because my daddy wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? It was times where I played every sport you could think of when I was growing up. I played football, flag football, basketball. So I did all that, softball. and all that. And I invited my daddy to every single game I had, and he ain't come. He came to one. He came to my senior night in basketball, and he was up there smiling and stuff like he was that dude, like he was always there, and he was just so proud. I think that was like one of my best games I had played and stuff, because I was just so happy that he was there. I want to show out for him because he never saw me play basketball before. So once I got older, I was like, I don't want no man like my daddy. He a liar. He a liar. He used to have a whole lot of broken promises. He never came through for me ever. It was a couple times he did get me a pair of shoes that I wanted, but I had to like beg him for it. Like, hey, daddy, you remember you said, daddy, don't forget now. But daddy, call him every day. I mean, one time I asked him for some gas money. I was like, Daddy, can you give me some gas? I need some gas money. I need to get to work. At the time, I had a little neon. It took like $20 to fill the tank up. He gave me the money. It was all rolled up, balled up, and I'm thinking, I ain't even unballed it because I was like, why wouldn't he not give me the amount that I asked for? So I just went right to the gas station. I was like 20 on pump, whatever, and just gave the dude the money, and he unrolled it. He was like, this $10.
Not 10.
And I was like, what? The other 10 must have fell out. I'm looking. I called my dad. I said, Daddy, you only gave me $10? Oh yeah, that's all I had. I mean, I ain't complaining because he gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? But dang, bro, like you couldn't be real with your girl. All I had was $10, baby girl. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't want no husband like that. I don't want nobody I couldn't trust that had broken promises that couldn't fulfill their end of the bargain. So I went and found the complete opposite of my dad and D. So yeah, I believe in daddy issues.
Now, my ideal dad, I don't think I really got that, but I know I saw stuff around me. Like at Butler, I played with a dude. His daddy came to every single football practice. I mean, he ran right past, Coach Flynn and rolled right to his daddy. So they're like, Daddy, like, oh, you should have did this. And I used to sit down and watch that. Like, wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna
do that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I saw different coaches, and stuff that deal with their kids, and they dealt with them so affectionate. Then, like, Coach Flynn, my best coach I ever coached for, and he treated us like we was his sons. But his kids, he just so affectionate with them, rightfully so.
Right, them his kids.
And I was like, I was just picking up different things. So that's why I remember Reed came to me one time, was like, D, I really love how you like so affectionate and stuff with your sons and how you are. And she said a lot more, but we were drinking and I really don't remember a lot of stuff.
Question. So with that being said, you're saying you are the man that you are today because of all of the men that were in your life. That's what you just said. Coaches, mentors, and different guys that you saw be husbands to their wives, fathers to their kids. That made you who you are. But do you think if your dad raised you solely and you had all those guys, you would be an even better man today? Because you had some things that kind of knocked you back a couple steps throughout your life, do you think that those things probably wouldn't have happened and you would probably be better? Or do you think you had to go through those things to be who you are today? I know that was a big question.
No, it wasn't. It's real cut through. And the answer is yes, I would have been a better man. Now, I had this conversation with my mother a long time ago. And my mother agreed, And I also told my mama, and I believe this to be true in terms of being a better man, because I went to prison by making an emotional decision.
Oh yeah, that was very emotional decision. Yep.
When I talked to my daddy about it, first thing my daddy would have said, he said was, well, I ain't gonna say what he said, but he told me he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have been in that situation. It sounded so simple,
yeah,
but it was so true.
Yeah.
So the emotional thing was, to fight. You know, to say, hey, listen, let's
tell her how you feel.
You know what I'm saying?
Go off.
But the more logical thing is
walk away.
Hey,
you could have walked away.
There you go.
Yeah. And then, and I don't want to put your business out there. Whenever you had got out,
I'm an open book.
Whenever you had got out or whatever, you ended up going to anger management, and you found out what?
I found that's true, and that's why I say it's important for you to know the history of your father. I went to this program in Jacksonville called Batter's Intervention Program. It's where domestic battle dudes who beat women go to talk about how you're not supposed to take your anger out and hit women. I literally sat in the same seat, went to the same program, address and all, my dad went to when I was a kid. When him and my mother got into an argument, she called the police, and that was one of the stipulations of his release. He literally went to the same program, was having this conversation, and he was like, I was like, Batter's Intervention. He was like, Batter's Intervention, over there, all at you? I was like, yes, sir, okay. Man, I went to that same program, son. So imagine if he would have told me that long time ago, and instead he could have been telling me, like, listen,
he could have taught you what he learned in the classroom, and you wouldn't have had to go to the classroom and learn it yourself.
Because there was some good stuff in that class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like you have to teach that the stuff that you go through as men. That's easy. That's early on teaching that child don't do that, and you just grooming that, growing up, grooming. Then when that child become of age, now you really teaching that little boy other things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What do you want? What did you want her to be? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What was your triggers? You know, who do you hang around? Did you want to have a different crowd? You know, did you want to be more outgoing? You know, now the child know the stuff to be mature. Now this child knows stuff to be, you know, whatever it is. He got a huge cheerleader in terms of his mother. You know, this child is really growing and, you know, developing into something that's, you know, that neither one of you have seen. Mm-hmm. Because what's going to break the mold? What's going to break? LeBron James is a rarity. Growing up, single mother household, struggling, probably one of the greatest NBA players ever played the game. Mm-hmm. It's a rarity. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, it's possible, but are we going down the same rabbit hole if we're just not doing something different to allow this child to grow up to, you know, what he wanted and needed to be? Right. Because you talk about all the time friends that you grew up with, and they had girl dads, and their girl dads were supportive and were there. And I'm pretty sure you was like, I wish I had that. Yeah. So your idea was a man was polar opposite. It was that. Yeah. It resembled that. Mm-hmm. But what we don't see a lot of times, especially when we grow up with single mother households, is how a household, you know, play off each other, because we play off each other very well in this house. Mm-hmm. You know, I can be very stern. I can be very, you know, whatever. But she can easily speak that by knowing her husband and knowing her child and saying, okay, maybe I need to say something. Mm-hmm. Maybe I need to go in the room and tell Jeremy, you know, hey, look, Daddy love you. He just frustrated right now. Mm-hmm. Go to Marv, like, you know, yeah, Daddy didn't mean that like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And never in front of them will I say something to you when you talking to them or, you know, disciplining. I never in front of them, because you don't want to demoralize what Daddy is saying. But we say all that to say, I mean, most kids aren't fortunate like the boys where they have mom and dad right there in their face, and they getting both sides of the puzzle. Every now and then, you know, you have just a single mother and a dad playing his part from afar. But just to stay on topic, that dad isn't in the house. At what age do you think? So if mom and dad break up, right, and mom has full custody of the son, say me 4 or 5 years old, or a baby, whenever, they broke up or they decided they go their own separate. At what age do you think that it's pretty much a requirement for that boy to go to dad? He needs to be at daddy house in daddy face 24/10. Like at what age?
10.
10 years old?
Yep.
10 years old. Why? Why not? Why?
Because I feel like 10 is a good medium. It's a solid number for that child to go until he's, 18 years old, 21 years old, because there's nothing else a mother can. Now that child is probably in middle school, about to go to middle school, and that's when it's about to go down, and that child is going to. That little boy's going to start being secretive. He's going to probably being sneaky. He's going to
get
start
a little
to
hair
be,
in different
what I'm
places.
saying? He's starting to mature, and when girls going to start liking him, all types of other stuff. And
when the girls start liking him, I could teach him to be a gentleman, because I could teach him, hey, these the type of these. Why you did that? I could teach him to be a little gentleman. Like, okay, son, when I was in middle school and high school and having my little boyfriends and stuff, these were the little things that I looked forward to him doing. These were the things that I didn't like that he did, and stuff like that. So I could teach them that. But I understand what you're saying. You're going to teach him from a male's perspective. I'm going to teach him from a female's perspective, and you're obviously going to teach him from a male's perspective, which they need just as much as they need the female's perspective.
I'm going to teach him. I know she's going to, and I teach my sons as well, gentlemen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to teach them, is Mary Sue over there kissing on little Bobby, and she bring her behind over there and try to kiss on you too, she'll hoe. If little Bobby, your homeboy, and Juicy Aisha over there, and little Bobby like her, she off limits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if she ain't like him or she just off limits. You can be a gentleman to every single female that you run into. Every single female is not going to be perceptive of your gentlemanness.
I agree. Some women just you just can't treat some women like a wife if they ain't wife material. I agree.
Some women you can't say, hey, listen.
I agree with you now. I'm with you when you're right.
You look beautiful today. I saw you answer that question in math class. Like, you did great. Ugh.
Get your stink behind something about me.
Math class. I was asleep. You know what I'm saying? Then who you want?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I get to understand is, no is no. If a girl tell you no, it's no.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If your homeboy can't be there to vouch for you for something, don't do it. Unless you know that girl and everything, no, don't do it. But emotional. If a girl say you love y'all doing everything, whatever, and she say I don't want to be with you the next day after you done bought her all this stuff, whatever situation is, take it and go.
Take all the stuff back.
That's your stuff.
You say that's your stuff.
One day, the statute of limitation right. Anyway,
You're funny.
But
hey, dang, we've been running.
Real quick. This goes back to the overall point of relationships. This is a whole lot of stuff to deal with.
To unpack, man. Yeah.
Just stay together.
Stay together.
Because at the end of the day, it's like,
baby,
if y'all two great people, y'all can make this thing work. Yeah. I don't care what the situation is, how whatever. Talk it out, deal with it, because them children watching.
They watching.
One day those children gonna say, you know what? You didn't make it work. Why should I? You know what I'm saying? You left dad over that. You left mom over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to answer to that. Mm-hmm. So make it work. It's easy to make it work because it's only a couple. I ain't gonna say a couple. It's 18 years. Get they behind up out the house. Now y'all chilling for real, watching the great adult that y'all invested so much in.
Yeah.
But that's all I got, man. It was a tough one.
Yeah, that was good, man. Hey, that really came out of thin air. I don't know what episode this is. No. It's the episode after the last one, though.
You know that.
Oh yeah. Another thing, we ain't gonna call it season 1 no more, man. We just gonna be dropping these things just like this right here. Whenever we feel like chopping it up with y'all, we gonna chop it up. Ain't no season 1. It's cold talks all day long. Thank y'all for watching. We love y'all.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all heard what Marley said at the end. Hit that little bell. Ding. Well, all right, y'all. Thank y'all. Salute.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And hit that little bell.